Hey everybody, I am painting an abstract boat. A lot of fun, no reference at all, just sort of giving the impression of a boat and just using it as a sort of vessel, if you want to say that, to hold some color and abstract shapes and just make nice chunky bits of acrylic paint and just some nice loose brushwork. So the shape of the boat, the sort of final product, is shaped by the loose, rough, the background that I did. As you can see, it's just kind of a lot of wash, and I used a bit of spray and a sort of palette knife. So we've got that sort of blue-grey undercoat and a bit of a violet red. And I just went with that. I had no real plan other than I wanted to do this kind of chunky fishing boat kind of vibe. And a friend of mine actually saw this when he saw the finished thing. He said, "Oh, it's just like one of these scallop trawlers that he used to work on." But I don't know. There's no accuracy here at all, other than there's sort of a crane at the back for the fishing nets. So what really sparked this was trying to get that chunky feel of the boat, but I really loved the sort of the rudder and the keel under the boat, the things that keep it stable going through water. So I made those nice and black and just gave it some nice shadows. It gives it a lot of three-dimensionality, or just that sort of feel, of something. There's something underneath it, something heavy that's balancing it. If I'd put the boat in water, you wouldn't have seen that. So, you could sort of say it's a boat in dry dock maybe, but that's really just a sort of made up boat. So, just showing the beauty, the simplicity of a boat. I think I've said boat enough now. I'll try not to say it anymore. So this is the fun part, is just going in with some chunky color, just orange, random choice. I have a lot of orange paint. And then I just sort of add a little bit of tone. I don't just want to make flat colors. I haven't really advanced to that stage of design where I love just, a lot of flat color. I do admire artists that can use flat color well, but I sort of get bored of not putting anything interesting in. So I just kind of do what I'm doing here. I think I just sort of decided it was getting a little bit too pinky and fluorescent or whatever, so I kind of went back to more of a red or orange. And then speaking of, sort of putting a bit of interest into flat color areas, I just went in with some yellow to give it a bit of pow and some complementary purple color, which also sort of up there gives it a bit of a shadow area. Nice gentle gradation of color there. I'm just sort of playing with the same bits of colours, orange, purple, and yellow, just to sort of try and give the surface some interest and make the shape of the brush stroke or the palette knife stroke kind of interesting. That's really all I can say about that. I just love abstract shapes. Put a bit of a sort of a violet colour in there. I just added that because now I want to just start getting some rich dark areas to give it that mood. And then I'm just going in for a background now. I got this. I'm using this grey, which is a sort of mauve with a little bit of yellow ochre mixed in. Different ratios give obviously different feels, and more neutral. So I sort of here I'll go for a little bit more yellow ochre, lighter at the top. I love this neutral mauve as a background color because it's kind of got your blue, red, and yellow in different proportions. It's a good option. So I'm just sort of painting the background through the black line work there. Just makes it, I don't know, just instead of painting black line over your background color, you just sort of have that color peeking through the gaps in the black line. Just gives it a different quality. Well, if you've been watching up to this point, I want to thank you. I haven't really edited it too much in terms of the length of the process because, if you're watching a process video, then you've got to show the process. And I think I do sometimes speed up the videos, but I thought this was a nice one to just let it go. So thank you for watching, and please feel free to leave comments and all that stuff. It's pretty much getting to the end. I'll just let it roll on and stop talking too much. So I'm just trying to add a little interest to the background, and I decide to sort of put more of a yellow ochre flavor at the top there, just to give some tonal difference, rather than show a flat background. Gives it a little bit of depth, as if there's sort of maybe sunlight up there. Well, I was kind of happy with this, but then I decided to put some line, just finish it off with some line work. So I'm going to show that in a second. But yeah, tonally, I'm kind of fine with how it came out. So we're at the end. Well, actually, I decided to put some drawing in. I decided it needed a bit of line work. So that's the final piece. Little bits and bobs and touches here and there of colour, spots of colour. But a lot of layers to show you, and you can see some of the undercoat under the painting still showing through from the first washes. I changed a couple of things, but the figures are still the same, and I just kind of wanted to keep the eye moving around the painting, keep it interested. Thank you so much for watching. It was a lot of fun to do on video. It's at my home. If anyone is interested in purchasing, just drop me a message and I'll send it over. Thanks, guys.